Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their future books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows and movies that are currently in development by, of course, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and other creators coming on board over at Lucasfilm to help with the process. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe is that we have, of course, Favreau, Filoni, and Lucas all working together as a team to really bring Star Wars to a new, exciting level that we have never seen before. So basically, their endgame, their overall goal right now, is to essentially drag in a lot of the highlights from Star Wars Legends and to make that into a reality. Now, the whole obstacle of going through that is how they're going to be able to keep it as accurate as possible, which, by the way, they have openly stated time and time again that that is their number one goal, is that they want to make sure that they can keep things as accurate to the old material as possible. Now, we can never forget what Kathleen Kennedy said when she lied to the fans in that famous interview a couple of years ago where she said there was no source material to pull from for the sequel trilogy films, basically making it out to be like Legends did not exist. And she was telling newcomers that to kind of like not even allow them to research or to get an idea of what Legends really was. Now, moving forward to where we are now, it's very, very lucky that the Disney executives are allowing Favreau and Filoni to do as they please behind the scenes when it comes to all of the lore changes that they are also going to be making to sequel trilogy canon material. Now, with that being said, with Disney and Lucasfilm now creating new Star Wars shows that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively developing their new Star Wars universe that is set to provide fans tons of new Star Wars lore that will add to the franchise. Now, it's described that one big plan by Disney executives is to drastically change the canon of the Star Wars sequel trilogy movies. One big canon change that just became final was recently done by both Favreau and Filoni that is now currently being written into the Star Wars lore and will be explained in future live-action material as well. This is the attempt to change Rey's backstory and her true identity in the Star Wars world. Now, the recent change that was now finalized involves Rey having her bloodline connected to both Palpatine and Obi-Wan Kenobi's family that will also be fully explained by Favreau. As of now, Favreau and Filoni are making it that Rey holds a connection to Kenobi's brother in the Star Wars universe, and that this is a big reason why Favreau had Deborah Chow to tell Joby Harold to have Kenobi mention his brother in the Kenobi series. Behind the scenes, this was the only involvement that Jon Favreau had with the Kenobi TV show. So let me just pause here quickly for a second. Now, obviously in Legends, alright, Kenobi's brother did exist. We didn't really learn all that much about him. In fact, I don't even think that we got a name in Legends, nor did we in the canon. So they're slowly building toward that new level of lore that's going to not only expand the Kenobi bloodline, but that it's also going to essentially rewrite Rey's background, her backstory essentially, making her both connected to that Palpatine bloodline and the Kenobi bloodline. So basically, the plan by Favreau is essentially making it out to be that Rey's grandfather essentially is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi's brother, and that her father and mother are connected to, of course, that bloodline as well. And it makes a lot of sense because they made it openly clear at this point in the Kenobi series that he did not have a daughter, you know, at any point in given time, unless they really want to keep things secret. But so far, if you look at the Kenobi series, it's pretty apparent that Kenobi did not have a daughter. And I think that's why Favreau and Filoni are going through this route of Kenobi's brother, which, you know, pretty much is going to give Rey the same exact level of bloodline. There's no doubt about that. But moving to the next thing here, this is where things begin to progress even further, is that they are keeping the same thing with the Palpatine side. Now, Palpatine's side is going to be a big deal because that's going to remain canon They're just adding the Kenobi layer to enhance her backstory. Will this really be enough to make people care more about the Rey character is the biggest question on the table right now. And I think that at the same exact time, the biggest question is this really necessary? Well, it's not really necessary, because I think at the same exact time, fans just want to move on. But there's no doubt about it that this will be equally as entertaining, because it's really going to add on to Kenobi's bloodline, his family. We're going to be learning a lot more about his brother, and the fact that it was Favreau's real idea to push Deborah Chow to mention Kenobi's brother in the show, it just goes to show you that Favreau really can pull strings if he convinces creators enough. Moving on. So, and that it was something that both Favreau and Deborah Chow were talking about for months. Now, while filming, Deborah decided to accept Favreau's request so that he can actually create lore for Rey's new background in the Star Wars galaxy. Now, Favreau's plan to reset Rey Skywalker and end the actual bloodline idea, of course, just by calling her Skywalker, was an idea that he had ever since he saw Episode 9 and wanted to change it since. This is all now becoming, of course, something substantial as we speak behind the scenes between Favreau and Filoni, rewriting, of course, material, and that Obi-Wan's brother is going to be of significance in the upcoming stories to be told for the Star Wars franchise. Now, Favreau is aware that some fans may find this to be too over the top, which is why they are taking their time and effort to make sure that they do this right for the fans in the most realistic way possible. So the thing about this too, that I think a lot of fans might have some issues with, is some fans may not care enough because Obi-Wan's brother is basically non-existent at this point. So far, Kenobi only says, I think I might have had a brother, or something like that, right? He doesn't really openly say, I had a brother. But yes, it is apparent that he does have one. The thing about this too that I think a lot of fans need to really realize is the fact that there are a lot of obstacles that they're going to have to go through to really make this work. They are going to have to, number one, introduce Kenobi's brother as a character first, to boost the familiarity and to see the acceptance of the character firsthand by, a lot of the Star Wars fans, which, if the character is done right, I think that a lot of fans will accept it. Now, will the character be a Jedi, or will it be anything related to that? I'm not quite sure about that. That might be going way over the top. It seems more around the lines that they are going to be making Obi-Wan Kenobi's brother perhaps a Force-sensitive individual instead of just a Jedi per se. So that's the deal right now. I mean, that's, pretty much all being made final. It's going to go into 2023. We're going to be learning more about this, officially speaking, later next year. Keep your eyes open. We'll be covering it. It's going to be quite an exciting time. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of whether or not they can write this character and execute it very well. So overall, guys, let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.